more importantly, on the 5th of May, there's going to be the grand finals of this tournament. And what you can win then is a ticket to the International 3, including hotel and flight. So make sure you sit in that raid call because you want to win that ticket. So, now we can jump ourselves over to the draft properly, where we have got the Magnus picked up first by netolic. Lifestealer making it through to the picking pool. This time it is the Lifestealer that has been picked up by Vici Gaming, who were banning out the Shadow Demon and the Nyx Assassin. Bedrider Lone Druid getting banned out by netolic this game. Weaver picked up by them. I have to say is quite an early Weaver. We have seen them playing with offlane Weavers before, though. Rave Blue playing that one, as we have got a Dragonite already and a Rubik by Vici Gaming. Dragonite is one of those heroes that I wouldn't have expected to see banned out in a second banning phase, but they really wanted to have him already, and they now have a very strong mid-game lineup. Dragonite, one of those carries that when he is level 6 to 8ish, he will already be of that big of an influence in the game, so we'll be able to start fighting. Same thing goes for a Lifestealer if he gets an okay lane. They will have to deal with an RP from the Magnus, though, assuming that he is going to be playing on the mid lane with the Weaver on the off lane, though we have seen netolic running aggressive tri lane with the Weaver as well. But we're just going to have to wait and see what they're going to be picking up, as they kind of are forced to pick up a support, I think, in this case. Purely because there's already a support upon Vici Gaming, and there's already a ban out for the Shadow Demon, and do you really want to have more supports getting banned out, which is definitely going to be the case. If they don't, if they pick up something else besides a support, if they already pick up their carry, for example. So they pick up a support, they pick up the Visage, and Visage is one of the supports that needs to kind of have an aggressive tri-lane going for himself. So I'm kind of curious to see how they're gonna be doing this, because we saw them running an aggressive tri-lane in the previous game as well, and it didn't really go as it should. They kinda, well, with the aggressive tri-lane of them not working out, they kinda lost the game, I feel like. So no pressure, but if they're gonna go for an aggressive tri-lane, they better do it right. We've got a Silencer getting banned out once again, just like we saw in the previous game. We've got Leshrac, Sand King, as well as the Keeper of the Light getting banned out. And we need to have, like, netolic has got already a Visage as support, or at least we're gonna assume he's support. We're gonna be having to see some disable, because so far they only have an RP as a disable, and that is not enough. Visage is a great bursting damage hero, but he is even better if you can just stun the target and attacking him a couple of times to get that soul assumption even higher. So he needs to get another support that can disable. Keeper of the Light wouldn't have a disable, but would have that even extra burst.
5 seconds remaining.
As in having and the soul assumption and illuminate, that would be a deadly combination. But now that that is out of the pool, they need to get some shutdown. That's also why we see Sand King getting banned out. Sand King Visage combination, very strong. Last banning coming for Vici Gaming. Is it gonna be another support, or is it gonna be one of the carries? Depending on what they are going to be expecting that the Weaver is going to be doing, if he's going to be going on the offlane or not. And they are taking their time, ticking into the bonus time, though they still have plenty of time left. We've got netolic having banned out Leshrac and a Silencer, so all combinations together with that Rubik are, or at least aim for that. Silencer as support, also that hero up against Magnus that is very strong, just to make sure you global silence, and that RP is not going to be bothering you at all, because you can just kill off the Magnus before he can do his RP then. And the last ban is still going to be that Wisp, the Wisp that we lately see a lot more in the Asian scene, also by Vici Gaming as well as by netolic, but they don't want to be facing it, so they ban it out. Very strong. He doesn't have that high priority that he's sitting in the early stages of that drafting phase, but he still gets some attention. So it's okay. It's nice. And the Clockwork once again picked up. So we're gonna be seeing XCT taking that one on again on the off lane, and that kind of means probably that we're gonna be having a Dragonite mid. Because I was at first expecting maybe an aggressive tri-lane or something like that. Having the Dragonite on the safe lane or the Dragonite on the aggressive tri lane, whichever you want to be doing. I mean, in theory, you could even send the Life Stealer towards the jungle if you really want to.
5 seconds.
But this kind of says Dragonite mid. And we might even see dual lane coming off from them,
Reserve time.
depending on what they're going to be facing mid. So far, the Magnus is the only one there, and if the Magnus is going to be mid up against the Dragonite, they both shall be fine. And that's probably what is the expectation from Vici Gaming and why they went for that hero to begin with. The Dragonite, that is, to go for him mid. There's the Undying. No real disable again, but again one of those heroes on an aggressive tri lane that really does the works. But again, the pressure on the aggressive tri lane is... like we saw it in the previous game. I don't think... like this time they have got the Weaver so far. Weaver also a lot of bursts, I guess. Especially early game with the Shakushi, but
5 seconds remaining.
I kind of fear for netolic this way.
Reserve time.
By the way, the discussion about Vici Gaming, how you pronounce it or how you say it. Vici Gaming, that's how you pronounce it. This says Vici Gaming, and they call themselves VG. So both is okay. I call them either Vici or VG. There we go. You can decide what you want to be hearing in that. Vengeful Spirit is going to be the last hero for Vici Gaming. There you go. And we have got ourselves more disable. It's something that netolic is definitely lacking. If they don't pick up something that has a disable right now, then they're going to be in trouble. And if they're going to be going for an aggressive tri lane with a Weaver in there, they need themselves an offlaner that can carry a bit. Or they need, or solo laner that can carry a bit. Or if they're gonna be getting the Weaver on the safe lane solo, they need a carry that has disable. No disables! What is up with this? Phantom Lancer picked up. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna be working out. I guess that's good. That I don't know how it's gonna be working out, but I am not really confident in the lineup from netolic. But I guess they will teach me, they'll learn, or at least I will learn how they are going to be making this work. We have got them on the dire side for this game, where we see Lodra KY playing the Undying. We've got Shibix actually playing the Phantom Lancer, so he's probably going to be going solo. Or is he? Ken is going to be on the Magnus. He is going to be going solo. He already went for a fast bottle, has got 3 branches in his inventory, so he is going to go for that fast bottle. It is going to be Wraith Blue who is going to be on the off lane then, or solo safe lane then, with Phantom Lancer going to be on the... well, one of the two. They can actually switch this around. I kind of hope that Weaver is going to be on the aggressive tri lane, because he's just got a lot more burst. I mean, yeah, Phantom Lancer has got some burst as well. Played by Shibix, as I just continue introducing actually Chaos playing the Visage, but Phantom Lancer's burst is a lot more expensive in terms of his mana, and he can only do that like twice before he needs more mana, and they don't have clarity. So Wraith Blue on the bottom lane, and maybe still a safe lane then. I don't agree with that though. Having a Visage on the safe lane is a bit of a waste, unless they were expecting an aggressive tri lane, but then they're wrong, because that's not going to be the case. We're going to be seeing Vici Gaming on the side of the Radiant. It is ZSMJ playing the Life Stealer, Fenrir on the Vengeful Spirit, FY on the Rubik. We're going to be having CTY playing the Dragonite in the mid lane as expected up against that Magnus, and we are going to be having XTT of course on his off lane, Clockwork. But again, I'm really not sure how they're going to be doing this. This is going to be 2 dual lanes. Again, Undying, one of those supports that I'm kind of favoring him in an aggressive tri lane. The rest of it is still there. CTT actually taking a little damage here, but should be able to get himself away. Just fine. More of the K's will help out at least, but I mean, if you're gonna be a dual laning, tri laning, kinda, Try laning Undying or Visage, and you don't have an opponent to harass or to gank or to farm, you're kind of wasting your strength, because your strength is early game spam, early game harassment, early game nuke. So the later on in the game, the less powerful it will become. And next to that, if you're going to be going for a safe lane, you kind of need to have something to keep your hero safe. So you kind of need to have some sort of disable to stop your enemy from going on your carry. And they don't really have that, because they don't have any disable apart from the RP. But there's now 4 heroes here on the top-ish. I say 4 because Weaver is actually around there as well, going to come from behind. It is CTT getting locked inside the clocks, getting silenced. Looks like they might want to try and dive this. Never mind. Courier is gonna be getting dived. Hello, Courier. Boom.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
And that actually was the bottle of the Dragonite. So very nicely done. Very nice kill to have. Is it gonna be enough to keep themselves in the game until that Phantom Lancer is firmed up? That's the question, because that is the question that is gonna be determining the outcome of this game. Is Phantom Lancer gonna be big enough by the time that and Dragonite and Lifestealer are big enough to fight? Because they got 2 heroes that can pull that kind of damage off, and Phantom Lancer is just by his lonesome. So in terms of split push, once again VC having the best of it in the end. And CTT still getting some experience. Definitely now also with the creep wave coming in to help him out with some golden experience. But it is Phantom Lancer that is still free farming, and considering he's free farming, he's a 9 for 2. This is not that great, I have to point that out. Because Dragonite in the meantime is 12 for 7. He has to walk back, because of course this is the result of Courier going down. So this is going to be basically Magnus almost winning his lane, purely because of that. On the bottom lane, it is the Lifestealer still free farming as well, 17 to 5. Very, very decent. So overall, oh, we have got some lag that is actually inside the game, not inside of me, as in... that this is Dota. There we go. Of course, I am sitting on a Singaporean server, and I'm not from Singapore. No. So that is the reason why, and it looks like I wasn't the only one. Looks like I wasn't the only one. So Dragonite, back inside the mid lane without a bottle. Still doing okay on the last hits, and even with that walking back and forth, Ken is still behind him in terms of last hits. And of course, one of the things that is going to be important now as well is how much farm and experience can the supports get of both teams without taking farm and experience on the lane. So we have got KS sitting on level 3 as well as Lodrak KY. And it's level 2 actually, with the level 3 up on the Rubik and a level 2 up on Fenrir. So fairly even in terms of levels. Off lane, any case, Weaver level 2, Clockwork level 3, so slightly in favor of Vici Gaming. But no first blood on the board just yet, which is kind of interesting because on both sides we have got, of course, 2 roaming supports, or 2 supports that are not really needed on the lane, that can try to go for that first blood, can try to go for a gank on mid, and especially if you know that CTY doesn't have a bottle, you might try to go for that. Especially before he's getting level 6. I mean, he can't really get up again when he's level 6. Oh, that was a bit hasty. But yeah, you can't really gank up Ken anymore when he's level 6, because then he will have his RP. You can't really gank up the Dragonite anymore, because then he's got his dragon form. So, you know, that would be one of the things. But no ganks in the mid lane. No ganks anywhere, really. And Visage and Undying still trying to get some levels. Again, it's a bit of wasted potential, considering they are such good early game heroes, which is normally why they are picked up. Aggressive tri-lanes heroes. But we'll see how this is going to be working out, because so far it's not going bad for Netolic. And they actually were in favor of the gold because of that courier for a long time, but slightly you see it going up again. I mean, VC is just overall getting a bit more out of the lanes than Netolic is getting. Same thing goes for the experience, and that is mostly the results of the off lanes. Clockwork level 4, Weaver level 3. That's the difference right there. And maybe some of the supports as well, but the supports are fairly even still, so we can't really call that out just yet. CTY popping his dragon form, gonna be careful here. Magnus not at level 6 actually. And no mana here for the Dragonite to pop a stun off. And again, I mean, he has got his courier right now again, but courier going top first. The bottles and... wow, there's a lot in that courier. I mean, that is such a blow, right? When you get your courier picked off so early in the game. Nobody gets early game items until 3 minutes delayed, and that can just make or break your mid lane. Or any lane, kinda. Double damage rune gonna be saved for Ken, gonna be picking it up. In the meantime, on the top lane, it looks like Vici Gaming is gonna be going for some kind of push here. They don't really have a specifically pushing lineup, but they can still do this. Just by cleaning out the creep wave and knowing that Wave Blue can't really do anything against it. And here comes the gank. It is KS and Lone Drag coming in for the clock. They're gonna dive this. Tower doing a lot of damage to KS. He has to be careful. Tombstone going off, there's the nuke, and the first blood goes to Lodra, and the creeps will be taking on the last of the tower again, and they will be getting some harassment out of that as well, especially with the Tombstone still standing around here. Whoa, Sheever has to be careful. He's actually getting locked inside by the creeps, but will be able to eat his way out again. And gonna be giving him a chance to get away again. First blood on the board, going to netolic, so nice job for them. They're not gonna be getting the tower though, something that was done on the bottom lane. The TPs are gonna come in bottom though. Wraith Blue wants to find an initiation. There goes Central. Here comes an RP though up on 2. Gets a vengeful spirit at least. And that is one to go down. Weaver still went down as well. The Central Ward helping out of course massively with that. But a 1-for-1 trade. I'm gonna say in favor of Vici Gaming, getting that Weaver over a support vengeful. Quite nice. And of course, more importantly, having to have no RP against you for 100 seconds is a very nicely done feat. And it looks like CTY is going to go for this. Courier is hanging around there, going to be pulled away again. Ken does have a skewer, will be able to use it to get himself away. Is going to be leaving the tower alone to CTY. Ward goes up, so he can play a bit more aggressive right now. And it is looks like VC, they want to keep the pressure on. They have got these heroes that they can do that with. Well, Weaver needs a lot more than he does have right now. Same thing goes for the Phantom Lancer. Again, that's something that netolic just needs. Time. Is VC gonna give it to them? Is the question at hand. So for Phantom Lancer, in terms of gold, he is not doing too bad. He is highest up on his team, but at the same time, the mid lane and the solo safe lane of the opponent team, so the Lifestealer and the Dragonite, are fairly far ahead. And that is something that should not really have happened because he is also free farming. And I mean, having the Dragonite ahead, perhaps, but at least he should be on the same level as the Lifestealer who's gonna get harassed a bit. Telekinesis there, open wounds as well, there's a slow and the kill. ZSMJ picks it up. He is just spiking up on his gold. Like I said, something that shouldn't have happened, or at least something that Sheever should have also had, and he doesn't have it. Even though he also had an assist, so in terms of gold of kills, it was even up until now, of course, with ZSMJ getting the kill just now. You have got Lora looking for a way in. They can't stop him though, like they don't have disables. And this is gonna be still a kill, but it took a lot of time for that. In the meantime, Magnus gets picked up in the mid lane. CTY gets himself a solo kill up on the Magnus. And that is gonna be him dying around there-ish. In the meantime, again, Wraith Blue has to be careful, still level 4. That's right, we have got level 4 still up on him. That's not good. I mean, look at the level difference in general. Of course, it's going to be slightly in favor of VC. In terms of lanes, we already discussed off lanes, but level 4, now level 5, compared to the off lane level 6 is quite a big difference. Off lane, of course, CTT, who was is almost level 7 even, so even bigger difference than it looked like. CTY gonna be having some trouble again though. No disable apart from that RP. They have it up though. He just needs to get himself a range. The Skewer won't be having enough range. He knows it too, so he backs off. Unless CTY is gonna be going instead. It is gonna be the the Weaver that goes down there again. Telekinesis, stuns, everything. Weaver goes down. Tower might actually fall from this as well. Taking quite a bit of harassment. With the next creep wave, it might be enough. Depending on how pressury they actually want to be, but everybody's helping here with the creep wave, so they do want to take down the tower. As Magnus rotating, he does have that RP. Is there enough damage is the question? I'm not sure. Normally you find like what, like okay, RP, only disable. Let's accept that fact, right? what can follow up on that RP? You've got your decay, you've got your
Dire's
Shikushi,
middle tower is under attack.
and that is basically the AoE damage that they have. It's not really that much. It is definitely not that much if you compare it to Leshracs or Linas or Jakiros. I mean it's okay, don't get me wrong, but it's not that big, and more importantly, it doesn't have any disable like a Light Strike Array or Ice Path or a Split Earth would have. So it's tough. It is tough for sure, especially if you get RPs and you don't really get anything in return for it apart from a Vengeful Spirit, as that first RP from him indeed only got. But it is time. They're buying time by not really fighting. They're buying time by showing their faces and knowing that their enemies won't be going into the tier 2 tower just yet, won't be diving that far, and therefore they get time for Sheever to farm up. And that is all that they want right now. He is still very far behind that lifestealer though. I mean, that is 2k difference or 1.8k if you want to be exact. Of course, one thing that we have to keep in mind is that is 2 towers difference. But that's still not going to be the result of that gap in between the wait a second, in between Sheever and lifestealers. ZSMJ actually rotated, and that is going to be a kill for ZSMJ, killing spree for him. I mean, they know that that Phantom Lancer is the only thing that's standing in between them and victory, probably, but if you can shut it down, then you don't have to be worrying about that, and that is indeed what they're going to be doing. We're actually going to be seeing the Dragonite picking himself up a Shadow Blade, and that is going to be giving him a lot of, well, even more mid-game presence. As it's a hero that normally does it already. I like that FY is done the Shikushi. Can just continue getting that, and in the meantime, tier 1 tower, the last one standing on netolic, is gonna be dropped there, as the gold graph is just, it's getting out of control. netolic needs to get that team fight going with their Magnus, and they can't really get it for now. They can't really get it. It is definitely tough. We don't have a Blink Dagger up on Ken. We don't really have anything. Is that the sound that I make? I think so. We've got drums up on Sheever, that's nice. We've got ourselves a Weaver that almost has treads. Yay. Undying doesn't really have anything. Magnus doesn't really have anything apart from mana boots. Is now going top. They want to try and take this fight. Can they find someone? They stun up XTT. Again, at least they might be able to get that one kill. He's still fairly fast though, and he has of course got those cogs, so they won't be able to try and take him. And of course the Vici also doesn't really have anything. On the other side we've got the supports. Really? Really? Magnus wanted to come in from the other side and paid for it. Very, 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 very tough. No RP, no follow-up. They might be able to get this tower at least, that is nice, but that's of course not what they came for. They wanted to force Vici to defend. Stun up, Phantom Lancer, Tombstone goes up, and his Fenrir that's in a lot of trouble here will be enough. One more hit away from dying, there he goes. ZSMJ coming in though, it is gonna be the Visage that goes down, it's gonna be also the Undying running for his life, gonna be proving that he's not as undying as he thought he was. Sheever's gonna be bursted down, triple kill for CTY's Dragonite. And that is not what you came here for. Trading a Vengeful Spirit and a tier 1 tower for having 4 of your heroes killed off. And I say 4 because Magnus definitely can be counted towards that as well. Wraithblue the only one getting away alive. And netolic can't get their foot in the door. I mean, they try. And I mean, it feels like, you know what the foot in the door, like the whole metaphor etc. stands for. So, just having that opening for you. And it feels like what netolic is doing is that the door is shut, in theory. And they are just banging their shoulders against it. And every time they do that, the door opens for a little bit, but then it gets slammed shut again the moment they release their pressure. So that's about the way it feels. And I can't say foot in the door, but you know what I mean.